I like that you brought up that example that Ophio gave, because like reflecting on it, Dion Fortune, she gave that same, basically that same message when she was talking about how you could be like a mystic, you could access different parts of the tree. And you could also be like a person who just reads, but you don't access anything. She said like it's the initiate and the adept that knows, like how you just reverberated the, like how the mechanic knows how to drive the car and the ins and outs of the car itself. The initiate and the adept knows how the tree or these forces work.
Yes. And again, it's not a value judgment. I'm not saying that anybody's better or worse or good or bad, but it's all about knowing where you want to go. I know what I want. I know where I want to go. So it serves me to study this machine deeply. Someone else, they may just, you know, they might just want to make a little bit more money. They might just want to, you know, what demon can I use to get this girl to put me inside of her? They might just want that, whatever. But it works. It works to manifest the reality that you want. This is why it stood the test of time. I mean, this is magic. This is spirituality. This is that mystical thing that anybody who's interested in it is going to get results from. I really enjoy vanilla and cinnamon. I think those are my favorites. Right now, I really love this oil, Cinnabon, because it smells just like Cinnabon. It's great. I mix it with my French vanilla.
I was experimenting doing those, but like putting the oils, but on top of the actual incense cones.
Hmm. How does that work? Or how is that working for you?
Like it's a good balance. One's not really overpowering the other.
Yeah. So have you been actively using scent in your rituals, meditations?
Not meditations, but like when I'm reading NLP, I'll have a basically an incense machine, but I use like the scent of orange whenever I'm reading anything NLP. And then
Okay.
for astrology, I'm not as deep. Like I need to manage my time better. But when I was getting deep into it, I had both like the actual cone and the incense oil of coconut. So whenever I smoke coconut, I know I'll be able to recall that stuff. And I put it like when I'm doing the cones, I make sure the smoke touches the page
Okay.
that like
Okay.
I'm writing my notes so I could like easily smell it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And right
That's
now I'm experimenting in a class where I should assign a scent, but right now I'm taking a math class and I started just every time I get a question right or like the teacher goes over and gives the correct answer, I put a sigil by it. So it's
okay.
like that sigil has all the information, all the processes needed for whatever like question in that class.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that's the proper way to make an anchor, a sigil, right? Because like what you said, you don't just draw a sigil and it's like, okay, this is going to help me get the right answer. You ask the question, you get the right answer, then you draw the sigil. In other words, you're capturing that state of, okay, this was the right answer. It's been verified and confirmed, and you lock that feeling in with that sigil. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I put that in I was searching through my garage. I found all my old toys. I found gray matter from Ben 10. So I'm about to like put a servitor in it for I guess like a mercurial entity.
Yes. Yes. And I know you understand this, but I'm just like verbalizing it for everybody who's watching. Like, this is how you do it. You don't just draw the sigil and hope and pray. You anchor it in. You anchor the feeling in. So just like what Maestro was talking about, when you get that answer correct, it's confirmed, it's verified, a feeling wells up. I don't care who you are, like it wells up. And it's just like when they pick fruit, if you ever get frozen fruit, I get frozen fruit from my smoothies and shit like that. If you read the package, it says picked and frozen at the peak of ripeness. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a certain point where things are ripe and ready for the picking. When you get that emotional spike for the sigil that you want, believe it or not, some people make sigils and shit and don't have an intention for it. But this is why it's important to know ahead of time. when that spike happens and you get that intent, you lock it in. You make that sigil, you anchor, you do your little finger thing, whatever you want to do, you get that physical representation and you put it away. And you only access it when it's triggered. And it builds itself and it builds itself until one day, literally, you can just do that little finger combination, pull out that sigil, spark that smell, and it all comes back. That state is invoked. Why not?
I had a former teacher. She basically did like the same thing, but she didn't do, or she had sent. She was doing it real sly. So she told us the process of, I mean, even NLP and what Homeboy said in Ajna Chakra. It's like it all connect, but how you remember things through your five senses. So she always had this coffee machine, and it's a very specific scent of coffee that's very unique. Then she had whenever she teach a concept, we would have to write it out, but like she would make a little hand thing for it. And then you would have to say it in a particular way. And then she would also give like I think it was Jolly Ranchers whenever it was a real heavy concept. And then when the test came around, she just gave out Jolly Ranchers. And then like all those things, like if you utilize all those things, you could like, get the information like that.
She's good. I hope she's getting what she needs. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a teacher that put that much effort into it. But then again, I haven't always known NLP, so maybe I didn't notice.
Yeah. So I'm kind of figuring out some like really new. I probably knew one or two that were on the occult too, but
Oh,
they make it normal. I mean, that's the point, is to make everything a ritual.
yes. And what we find is that if we call it that, we're going to scare the normal people away. But if we call it another name, right, and attribute maybe a different symbol to it, people just accept the general public. We want to real, and we want to say all these things that are going to instantly bring up resistance, and resistance kills rapport. Resistance kills the thing that we connect with. So instead of doing that, there are easier ways to get our point across.
Excuse me, Tree of Life.
Thanks, Maxine. There are easier ways to get our point across. But yeah, that's awesome. Those are the best kind of teachers, ones that know how to teach.